In America today, there is always a heated discussion about the topic of gun control and which ways to keep guns out of the hands of people with ill intent. I can see the importance of the right to bear arms. I believe that people have the right to bear arms, which is also protected by the Second Amendment. But what about the safety of the masses? Federal laws have been implemented to help prevent certain people from obtaining firearms. But these are only used in the first initial sale. As of today, there are no real laws that are in place to help assure that guns are not getting into the wrong hands on the secondary market, which is private sales. In America, it is estimated that 40% of all guns are sold from private parties. This means that a mass amount of weapons are coming into the public through venues like gun shows, online listings such as can be seen on Casper Man Cave, simply being sold from one friend to another, or being sold on the secondary market simply for a profit. Under federal laws, there are forms of prevention to help deter questionable persons from purchasing a gun. Background checks are done on the first-time buyers for such things such as felonies, domestic violence, and mental illness. There are no regulations in most states pertaining to the private sales of a firearm. It's just a simple transaction. The only thing in place in most states is that one isn't allowed to sell to someone who is known by the seller to be either a criminal or have mental health issues. California has the best idea so far in private sales. They require a background check and registration transfer. If it's not done and the gun is found involved in an incident, the seller is held accountable for an illegal gun sale, which means they basically get charged. Handguns from a secondary sale have been linked to such travesties as the Columbine High School shooting in Colorado, where two young men walked into a school and opened fire on fellow students with semi-automatic rifles that they have obtained from a friend. When questioned later, the friend said she would not have purchased the guns if she was scrutinized by a background check. I remember this vividly because I was living in Colorado at the time. The state was in shock and in awe about what had happened. It was a very, very confusing time for Americans. Then we also learned to have a fellow by the name of John Bennell who refused the purchase of a handgun after a background check revealed that he had documented history of mental illness. This did not deter Mr. Bennell. Instead, he went on to the secondary market where he was able to obtain a semi-automatic pistol. Afterwards, he casually walked up to the Pentagon and opened fire on two police officers. Now, these are a couple of high-profile cases that lack the check and balances of a secondary market. But there are shootings across the country every day. There are gang members, drug dealers, number of people, just your everyday person buying guns that are sold by the private sellers. If 40% of the guns are sold by private sellers, what can we assume about the number of these guns getting into the hands of ill-begotten people for illegal activity? I truly believe in the right to bear arms. I would never want to take that away from anyone. The only thing I'm here today asking is for better checks and balances on the gun sales in the secondary market so we have a better idea of exactly who we are selling guns to. I would ask for a private seller to be held at the same standards as a gun store, to prepare some kind of background check on somebody before they are allowed to sell a firearm. Or better yet, sell back the firearm to the retailer where they are required to do a background check. It seems as though today's world we have come to a point where individuals are attacking us at our weakest point, in our schools and with our children. If we did this for nothing else, we could do it for our children's safety. Thank you.